Welcome everybody to the first episode of NGS Critline. I'm the host of this show, Criticaster, and not at all official navigator for anything. But here today, we're going to talk about your guys' feedback from the official NGS Discord. This episode will be focusing on what you may call half-baked systems or not fully realized concepts in NGS. Specifically things such as mission badges, special scratches, and more. So actually moving into our first question, we have, can we please have an update on N mission badges? I'd like to know what your intention is for them in the future, as right now they are very limited in scope. Will you open up a direct exchange shop like in PSO2 Classic? So right now we can get mission badges or N mission badges in the NGS Mission Pass, as well as a whole bunch of other things. But currently, these mission badges can only be spent for special scratch tickets, which you can also get through the Mission Pass. So it's kind of weird that they would give us these mission badges as well as special scratch tickets at the same time if there was no intention for these mission badges to be spent elsewhere. So I believe in the future we'll be getting something along the lines of what we had in PSO2 Classic, where there's a specific shop or tab that you can get weapon camos, outfits, etc. to use for your characters. Honestly though, it's just a matter of when they will implement this. There was something else that was brought up that was pretty interesting along the same lines, is that can we please sync the NGS mission badges with PSO2? Since currently in base game it's impossible to get those items because the mission pass no longer exists for PSO2 Classic. This would be a great temporary solution for newer players coming into the game as they missed out on all of those items. But for veteran players, this doesn't help the situation pretty much at all because they already have these items or they just want new NGS spec ones. Ultimately though, we've had around 12 to 13 mission pass seasons for NGS with all of these badges building up, not being able to spend it on really anything but these special scratch tickets. Which brings me into my next point. So one person posted, regularly update the special scratch, like AC scratches, starting by giving it new items. Out of all the scratches, the special scratch is seemingly ignored by the dev team. It gets updated once in like 6 months. I think it was only updated twice, maybe 3 times tops. So with this response, this is completely true. So it started in around November prior to Retem release. And then it had a chunk of items, nothing too crazy. And then I believe it got updated one more time after the spring special scratch from that one limited time event. I don't think it's been updated any more than that. So technically like twice its inception and the spring special scratch stuff. Honestly, in my opinion, and I'm sure others as well, this is kind of ridiculous. In my eyes, this is supposed to be the replacement for the fun scratch in base game or PSO2 Classic, to where we're getting a whole bunch of like items, but there's like quite a bit of those items. So if they're hard pressed on making new items for this, why not just take the base game fun scratch and put it in this special scratch and kind of rotate it around the year? They basically are already doing this anyways, as the majority of the emotes and the accessories in the special scratch are from base game. The only ones that are NGS specific are most of the weapon camos. From what I'm gathering though of what they've been doing with this is that they release a limited time special scratch, such as the spring scratch or this current PSO2 10th anniversary one, and then they take some of the items from those and put it into the regular special scratch later. While we're on the topic of special scratch and even fun scratch, there's something else that they could put into this as well. Here one person suggests personal shop ticket and auto sell in special scratch. Free-to-play players shouldn't have to wait every 3 weeks or a month in order to make good money for 3 days only. This is actually a huge callback to the fun scratch because you could get those personal shop tickets in there for 3 days. Currently, the only free-to-play way to get them is through the Mission Pass, and with the auto sell, it's actually even worse because you can get that in Mission Pass, but it's only for a single hour. I feel like this would be a great feature for new players or free-to-play players to get access to these different features. And I don't think SEGA really has to worry too much about free-to-play players getting their hands on these too often, because unlike Fun Scratch, the special scratch you don't get as much. You only get like one special scratch like every week, maybe a few from some extra things, but I think it would increase the incentive of using the special scratch tickets. And then because we know we're getting personal quarters in early next year, they should add these tickets into the special scratch as well, just like they had in the fun scratch. But speaking about the personal shop, I wanted to go into another topic with that. The topic being personal shop search engine. Have more categories and make it easier to search items without pressing the search button first. So with this, I don't think this is exactly the way you want to go about it. Sure, more categories can make things work, but it's still hard to find different items. And then from a game design perspective, I don't think many of these items have that sort of tag. So it won't just be as easy as like, oh, we'll just make the categories now and they'll all just go in. They would have to go to each and every item to put this is a hat, this is a mask, etc. So what I think they should actually do is let you partially search things. So right now, the way it works is you have to type in an exact match to be able to search for something. So what if I wanted to search all Cinquem weapons, for instance? Well, I can't do that because I need an exact match. So I need to type in Cinquem like saber, Cinquem sword. I can't just put in Cinquem and search all Cinquem items. And then in terms of cosmetics, it would work for your category thing. So if somebody just typed in mask, then they can get all of the cosmetics that have mask in the name instead of having to exact match it. But this doesn't fix absolutely everything, because sometimes you don't even know the name of the item that you're searching for. You just kind of know what it looks like. So this actually brings us into the next topic. To have an item catalog in the game, to give people an official place to search for anything in NGS, so that it's available in-game, or at least on their website, without going to external sources. So this would help with finding what you're looking for based off the image. But they used to have something like this on their official website for the cosmetic items, at least for AC scratches. And what was cool is they even included some of the concept art for some of these items, but they just stopped doing that and removed the whole catalog completely. I'm not exactly sure why SEGA did this. I imagine it's just they wanted to reduce the manpower, and since they couldn't keep up with the catalog, they decided to remove the whole thing entirely. So I kind of understand why they don't do it on their website anymore, but why not in-game? Like somewhere in the system menu next to like the game guide, have the item catalog as a different tab. Because they have the prize lists for all of their scratches. So why not just have the item catalog be all of the previous banners or the current banners and just have the prize lists right there? That's all we have for this episode of NGS Critline. If you guys have any more ideas or thoughts, please share it in the official NGS Discord. But if you have any feedback of this show, then please use the hashtag NGS Critline. Next episode, we'll be talking about whether or not challenge is good for New Genesis. Thank you guys for watching though. I'll see you in the next NGS Critline. Peace.